live. We are live. Let me just double check that we are live on X. View on X. Let's see if that comes through. We are. Amazing. Completely live on X. And it's being broadcasted. Perfect. And yeah, well, let's get cracking. Thanks so much for joining, everyone. Let me just do a bit of a round to say, who's here. We've got David Kumps, who was the winner for his LP bot that he did for the Cross-Chain Summer Hackathon. We got Varad and Vasu, who came second in the general track, and Alex, one of the judges from my protocol. So yeah, really exciting. And of course, myself, Sean from the Chainflip team, and Will from the Chainflip team. Yeah, just want to say the hackathon has been quite an experience and quite a fun thing that we've been able to do from our side. How long did it went around for? Will?
In the end, I think about 5-6 weeks.
5-6 weeks.
Yeah. And yeah, big thanks to all our partners as well. We have Maya here. Awesome to see some of your community joining in as well. We have other great sponsors. So we have Thorchain. We also have the ThorSwap team. And yeah, thanks to Dora Hacks as well for putting it on. It's the first time we've done it. So as you may have seen, maybe there were some glitches along the way. Sometimes things happening, but ultimately we just kind of want to experiment with this, find more ways to engage our developer community and just get more people that maybe don't know about Chainflip or Maya or Thorchain or the general, just the cross-chain space, to get them interacting with us, get them building with us, get them experimenting with our SDK, whatever it may be. So no, that was great to see. Hope to sort of improve on this in the future and find new ways to do different things like this.
Yeah, and I guess you'll see from the winners that we discussed today, kind of the general theme of where some of the builds have been going, and some of the interesting stuff that's come up, and why these projects are such a value to not just Chainflip, but to Thorchain and Maya too. Because at the end of the day, it's the three of us that are actually building the only cross-chain, dexes out there that, are able to offer the capabilities that we can. So, it's us versus the rest in that kind of mindset, which is kind of why we initially stemmed to have the hackathon go this way. At the end of the day, we work together to kind of make the sex obsolete. Maya's tweets lately have been amazing. Of the make the sex obsolete. I like this a lot. That's such a good play in words. Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to maybe get a bit of an idea from you, Alex, on how you felt the hackathon went. Do you think the desired outcome came out of it? Do you see any of these projects gaining any traction or use?
Yeah, I loved it. I really think devs are the foundation of any blockchain ecosystem. They essentially make the strongest part of the community and are constantly pushing the ecosystem to improve, to give them more tooling, and end up doing things that serve users in some way or another. I specifically liked the winner, Token Beam. We will talk about them. But I love the fact that they will also through the trouble of finding a great name, which I still like very much, and packaging it all in something that's a product and it works. So I think that's great, and I really hope they keep up with the work, not only to the deliverable of the hackathon, but they continue on with the project, since I think that they have potential. And all of what they built, it's now out there. It's code that's there and exists now, and future people and iterations can make use of that code, which is what's fascinating to me about the open source community. So happy with the result, happy with the three winners, and looking forward to doing the walkthroughs with you guys today and congratulating the winners. And congrats, guys, as well to the winners joining us.
Amazing. Yeah. And David, anything from your side?
It was my first hackathon that I did, so it was a special experience, and I liked it a lot. Yeah.
Very nice.
I'm looking forward to this demo day.
Yeah. And Vas and Bharat, what about you two?
Yeah, for us also, like, it was like second hackathon of our life. So, and also we have like just recently started in the Web3 space, and like we are last year like graduates from Jaipur, India. Like we are university students, and like we are just fascinated about this particular domain, like the blockchain and Web3, and we have just started and we are just loving it. Like it started with a boom. So.
That's amazing. It's really
Yeah.
nice to hear that. Yeah, nice young people coming into the space and like, actually, getting the recognition they deserve.
We are very excited to like win this hackathon, and like we have done our like full work, and we wanted to be just a part of the hackathon and to know how is it working, how change is working. But
Mm.
yeah,
Amazing. Well, let's get cracking into it. I think just based on the time, we'll spend about 5 to 7 minutes on each, winner. And for you folks in the room that are pitching to us, pitch to us. Tell us why you want it, why you think your project is going. David, why don't we start with you, since you first placed the general track? Why don't you give us a little bit of a demo of your project and a little bit of a pitch on what it works, and like how it works, and what you hope to come up with?
Okay. So my aim in the hackathon was not so obvious to what was straightforward. So it's not related to swapping in the swapping sense of way, but it's related to providing liquidity, because that's one of the things we wanted to get more of. And we had a little club with stable coins, and we were doing manual work on the UI. And then the hackathon came, and I thought, like, this is a good moment to try and automate some of that stuff, make it more available to everybody. So that's how the stablecoin got born. And let me give a little demo about it. It's running right now on production. This is stablecoin, and we just launched 1.5. And I updated the bot as well to be compliant or to be working with 1.5. So everybody who already runs it can update it on the GitHub as well. So what it does, how easy it is to configure, is you have just your usual files from your liquidity provisioning account, which are in the documentation of Chainflip. And then the bot is basically all contained into one Docker Compose file, which contains the LP API from Chainflip itself, 5 right now. You don't need to install a Chainflip node or anything. It's all this Docker Compose. And then you can configure your bot strategy all in one file. For example, you can say, I'm going to create Ethereum USDT with USDC, and I'm also going to do Arbitrum USDC on Chainflip. And I want the slices of my capital to be divided 60% to 40%. And then you can also say, I'm going to buy and sell at specific ticks, which is lingo in liquidity provisioning to say at which price. So in this case, I'm providing just above and below $1 liquidity. And once you've configured it, so let me just change something in it. Like if I wanted to be more competitive, I could change these to be like -4, which means I will make less of a profit, but I will get more swaps, get more trades. For the moment, I'm done configuring this with my preferred strategy. I can just say, let's run it. with Docker Compose up. And with the logs, I can follow along what it does. So it started, prints out how much money I got in my account, a little bit. It says which orders are open. It says USDT orders, USDC buy and sell orders, and how much my total balance is. If I would go to in another screen here, I'm going to go to my liquidity dashboard and I'm going to cancel some orders so I get some balance. Then we'll see that the bot close an order here. There we go. So I'm closing an order for 800 USDC on the liquidity provisioning dashboard now. So the next check in less than 15 seconds, I should have some balance. There we go. It says I have $800 of balance. It decided I'm going to sell USDC ARP, and it created an order. And basically all it does, as soon as you put money into your liquidity provisioning account, the places orders, and when swaps fill orders, you get money again, and it goes round and round and round. So it's basically a safe savings account. That's it.
Very nice. And out of interest, I know the liquidity provision group at our Chainflip liquidity provision group that you and Chainflip got set up is doing extremely well at the moment in the community. What are some of the yields, and what are some of the yields that you've seen people accessing at the moment on stablecoin pairs?
When we started with stablecoins, the yields were very nice because it was only like 2 or 3 people, which was like 20%. I think right now they're around 10%, a bit above 10%, which is really nice because you're trading $1 for another dollar. So there's no impermanent loss risk there. And it's more yield than what you can get anywhere else, I guess.
Yeah. And scalable wise, I guess, as volumes on Chainflip grow, this is definitely something that, will also increase, which is nice.
Yeah.
What about
and
you?
It also helps by attracting more USDT liquidity. It helps Chainflip win more swaps as well, because the more USDT we got, the more it shows up in wallets that want to swap to and from USDT. And we've seen with the group, since more people started adding liquidity, we've seen more of those swaps come in as well.
Very nice. Very nice.
I have a question. Well, 2 questions actually. Firstly, one, when Ethereum or Bitcoin with the same software, and 2, do you think this could be transferred to other protocols? Like, I guess since Maya here and Thorchain was also in the hackathon. If in the future we did another track, do you think you could build it for all 3 protocols, or is that just like 2 different?
So the first one, when Bitcoin and other coins, theoretically the bot can support it, but it's going to post Bitcoin at $1. Oh no, you can change your ticks, but then you would have to constantly update the config and restart it. So for that aspect, there's actually another thing that's better suited, and that's the upcoming Hummingbot integration that Chainflip has funded, which is more suited for assets with dynamic prices. Because you constantly would need to update your limit orders on Chainflip to follow the Bitcoin price. And that software, Hummingbot, supports price feeds, which then updates the orders. As for the other question, it's very strongly based on limit orders. And as far as I know, Thorchain and Maya is more passive pools where you deposit your liquidity and then it's hands off. So it would be very different, I think.
Who knows, maybe one day Alox, Maya will be having limit orders on their side. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
You're muted.
Oh, I think you're muted.
We constantly look at things that we can do. So Maya and Thorchain are definitely not frozen in time. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's also the active component of the LP side is on the arbors, and we do look for a nice and healthy experience with the passive LPs. But I'm a fan of options, so there can be something looked at later. Uh, but yeah, we have a field roadmap as we all in cross chain. Yeah, with you guys with DCA, we have also we're launching Radix now and Zcash
Yeah.
soon. So we're all with full hands. We
Yeah.
need another 4 years to do everything we want.
I feel you on that. Yeah, and congrats. Another chain integration straight off the Arbitrum, basically. That's really impressive. All right. Yeah.
Alex is frozen.
No, you don't.
Frozen.
Thanks, David. Yeah, really powerful stuff. And I think what's really, really great about this entry and why I see it being the winner of the track, this is a working product that people are actively using as we speak and earning yield as we speak, and that's quite something we can really see value add, and it's scalable too. Like Will said, we can utilize that for different assets in the future, which is really great. Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Yeah. Next on to the two of you boys in the room. You ready to give us a tour? You guys might be muted. Just check that.
Yeah. Okay. So should I start?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'll just start with like a introduction of like my project, and then Vasu will go through the demo. So yeah, so like first we'll start like how we thought about the problem and what we came up with. So like in Web3 landscape, like referral systems are key to building strong digital communities and also increasing user acquisitions. However, like many existing systems are vulnerable to Sybil attacks and fraud, like which can undermine trust and effectiveness. So like Chainflip referral addresses these issues by integrating a Sybil resistant architecture powered by WorldCoin for like human verification. This ensures that like each participant is a unique individual, preventing the manipulation and fraud that commonly plague like traditional referral systems. So like talking about the key features, like it's Sybil resistant architecture. So our system is built on Sybil resistant architecture, ensuring that only like genuine users can participate. And we used like WorldCoin for that. And then there is like dynamic campaign creation. So Chainflip team or like the administrators can create a campaign whenever they want, and they'll also choose the time duration of the campaign and the amount of flip tokens or any other token that they want to give as a reward. So our system requires users to submit swap IDs and transaction hashes for verification, ensuring that rewards are like only distributed for like genuine transactions. And we use like GraphQL endpoint of Chainflip for that, like fetching the transactions. And then as more users join through referrals, the platform's value increases obviously, and creating a positive like feedback loop of growth and utility. So this in turn like incentivizes long-term platform usage and community involvement. So
Amazing.
that was the like main over. And yeah, like I would urge Vasu to like go through the demo once.
Yeah, sure, sure. So, is my screen visible?
So if you share your screen, let me add that to the stage. There you go.
Yeah. So this is our landing platform. We have created a Chainflip affiliate program. Okay. So in this, user can come to our website. They can first of all for the Chainflip administration, we have created a campaign section where they can create the campaigns for like giving the referral rewards and other things. So we can type the name, duration, and the rewards for the rewards they want to give, and the reward per referral. So I have created a one for the demo section, and now we can look into the active campaigns. So we have used our graph for fetching the active campaigns, and let's say we are going towards the test one campaign. Okay, So user, first of all, we have implemented human verification. Okay. So user can verify themselves using the WorldCoin, and I have just previously used the WorldCoin, but user can just create the WorldCoin ID and uh, and put it there, and they can verify themselves. Now, for participating in the campaign, we have made a condition that he has to make a swap for participating in the chain flip level program, and we have integrated the chain flip GraphQL APIs for that. And so I have previously swapped it, and I will show you how it will be done. And we can just first of all put the swap ID and also the transaction hash. So these will check that our swap is legit, and we will verify it. So yeah, user will see their referral code and the number of referrals and the flips token they have earned. That's it for the demo.
Amazing.
So I think it's, I don't know about you, Alex, but for us, figuring out like a way of doing referrals has been really hard. We've seen a lot of other decks that do it pretty well and successfully, but doing it like multi-chain or cross-chain is kind of hard because certain users reside on certain chains. Like Bitcoin users are residing on Bitcoin chain, Ethereum users are on the like EVM, and so like trying to get one referral program that sort of relates to different chains and uniting the user on one has been a bit of a challenge. So we haven't implemented anything yet. And then also we have another thing, which is people, at least for us, people don't connect their wallets very often, which perhaps if there was a referral program, they would. Like if there was an incentive to do so, even if it's social incentive, it might make sense. But yeah, curious for you, Alex and Maya, you guys thought about referral programs? And if not, if so, what are your thoughts on it?
Come again, sorry, about the what programs?
Referral programs. So like if a user makes a swap, they can, or either referring or either make a swap, they can sort of track it and make rewards and things like that.
So we have the affiliate fees, which is similar to what you guys have on brokers. And I've been going in my head like over and over how we can do it more expanded. Where you're limited is the memo, because you need to have either an address or some short alias that we call my name and Thor name on Thorchain. The problem being that, of course, because of the you want to have short names, they go very fast. So there's not many available names on my and Thorchain right now that are also short. Usually they will be bought by user interfaces looking to shorten their memos. So I've been thinking about this and have spoken with Familiar Cow, with Nine Realms on this topic as well. We're looking how it could be done on chain, but I have the gut feeling it might be easier to do some kind of more front-end side standard. Why do you want it to be a standard? So it's easier to implement, kind of like in an SDK, but also so there's something that users can expect when they use one referral program or another within the same ecosystem. But referral programs are definitely something great for network growth, which of course we all know network value is one of the main drivers of blockchain value. So definitely something, an interesting problem to solve when we're working with so short memos. If you have something more like the where you submit the transaction first on Maya or on Chainflip, and then get a booking number, and then you can use that number later to execute the swap with just that number, then you open up many possibilities. But the two-step process is not always easy, and I know you guys have gotten a bit of edge cases on those kind of things. So it's the thing, you look for solutions, but your solutions cause more problems. So now you need solutions, and it's a never-ending problem. But that's why we all have a job. So
It's true. It's quite funny.
We should be happy about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then just add that again onto the roadmap of what needs to be done, right?
Yeah.
By the way, are you drinking your own coffee again? The one that
Yes.
you brought to Ray Eagle.
Well, here I have a machine, not the manual thing that I use. Wakako, if you're fans of coffee, the Wakako Pico Presso is amazing and completely portable, and they also have a hand grinder. That's pretty cool. But
Very
no,
cool.
at home I have my machine all set up. I just click a few buttons and
Okay.
it's Mexican beans, coffee beans are actually pretty good. People don't know that about us, but we do good coffee. It's not only the tequila, guys. I promise.
That's why you win.
That's why I went.
That's funny. Well, thanks, you guys. That was really great. From a change perspective, it is really interesting because, as we said, we've been trying to figure out a way of doing this ourselves. Catering, we have, we now have affiliate brokers ourselves, but those are mostly, focused towards being used by different aggregators looking to expand their subset. And we've always been looking at a way of trying to, curate the affiliate side of things to more of like an individual, like how a lot of these other perp dexes do it, even how centralized exchanges do it. Like you have a lot of traders that actually have these referral links and they manage to get a lot of people onto their platform. And the whole direction of ChainFlip as a product is starting to move towards like becoming a decentralized, centralized exchange. What they offer, having trade accounts, having a system built in, and this fits in really nicely with that mold, which is a big reason why I think a lot of the judges saw this as great potential. So well done, guys, you deserve it, and we really hope that you look at continuing building something like this for ChainFlip, and even maybe experiment with figuring this out for Maya and for Chain too. So thanks.
Sure. We would love to.
Yeah,
Amazing.
thanks.
Sweet. The next one that we got on the list is one of my favorite, is Auto Bitstack. And I'm going to give a tour of that one. Explain a little bit about why it was so good. Let me share my screen. Present, share screen. Auto Bitstack. Okay. Cool. Let me bring that up. Auto Bitstack. Cool. So this is Auto Bitstack. Now, Auto Bitstack is basically is a front end that aggregates ChainFlip, but it touches on some very important factors that we are currently working on ourselves. One of them being DCA, dollar cost averaging, as well as limit orders, which is very cool. And it kind of brings limit orders as what you kind of see in, say, Uniswap to the retail user without having to go through ChainFlip's LP process to basically get their orders in. And I think that is a really, really cool feature to be adding. It also gives us a lot of idea where we're going with DCA and how we can build that up, which is really exciting. I think a lot of our devs were quite happy to really see, like someone actually having a compelling case for DCA, like limit orders for the retail user. So yeah, that was very, very nice to see. Let's go straight to the demo. It's actually, and another factor that I really liked about it, let me share if is it still sharing?
No, I think you need to change to the.
Let me just do this. Hold on. Let me just share my whole screen. Inside screen. Let me just share my inside screen for you all. Cool. Auto Bitstack. Yeah, so this is what really appeals to me, is the fact that they have a fully functioning, test net working with a really clean interface. Some pretty, they really explain pretty simply what you can do here, DCA, limit, and then you can even track all your orders that you've done. which is really nice. I think the important thing with all of the entries that came in is just having like an actual workable, functioning product in their pitch, which is very, very cool to see. I've connected my wallets. I've got some Safari ETH there. Just changed that to what am I selling? I guess let's just see here. 50, and then you can just really customize what you want to do on the DCA side. You can say, okay, I want to sell a minimum of 50 USDC over a period of 5 days, weeks, and months, and then it will execute at intervals on that, which is very, very cool to see. On the limit wallet side, you can choose what you want. So again, 50 USDC, and then you can choose a price. It's whether you're buying Bitcoin or what you're buying, you can basically put that in there. Which is a really cool function. I think that'll be quite exciting, and I really hope that they do actually go forward and continue looking at building this. Love the branding too, auto bit stack, stack your bits, love it. It's really cool. The design, really great, the whole GitHub, everything, documents all in place. They've really touched on some really important things that impact Chainflip, and yeah, really impressive build on their side. So yeah. That is auto bit stack right there. Curious on your points on auto bit stack and what you think of it as an entry. Maybe David, we start with you.
I liked it. I had a look at all the entries, and it was a nice one, especially the fact, like you said, that it's a finished product and usable. Looks good. I had a look at the contracts as well and the process behind it. So it ties in nicely with, it's basically a preview of the DCA feature of Chainflip, but then spread over days instead of minutes and hours.
Exactly. We've been looking at that for some time. Like we've been looking at in the development of it, we've been trying to figure out, how we can, optimize DCA, and this gave us some good ideas on how we go about it. So yeah, that was the final entry. Let's touch on the Thorchain, Maya, and Chainflip tracks pretty quick, just because Alex, you have more of a focus on this side, which is going to be pretty cool. And the first one is Token Beam. Maybe you want to talk a little bit about Token Beam as the winner, and you can take it from there.
So I think you can pull up the details, but the track essentially is talking about aggregation between protocols. And the cool thing or interesting thing about that is Maya, Thorchain, and Chainflip will be constantly adding different chains. For instance, Chainflip now has Polkadot, Arbitrum, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and they're working on Solana. Whereas Thorchain has many UTXOs, Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Doge, Litecoin. Then they also have some EVMs like AVAX, Ethereum, and they have Cosmos, which might or might not be retired, Binance Smart Chain. So also a whole bunch of different chains. They're also thinking about Solana, which is good. It will be a way for Chainflip and Thorchain to aggregate with each other. And Maya today has Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dash, Kujira, Arbitrum, Thorchain itself, so we can already directly aggregate with them. We added Radix yesterday and adding Zcash and Cardano this year. So the important part about this track is how do we make it such that all these clustering protocols are actually kind of like one big layer that's interconnected. And if you need to move from one asset that's on one thing or on another, you can move freely and easily around. And that's the problem we're there to solve. And what Token Beam did pretty well is not only do the technical part of how to achieve this, but they also did the user interface in a very creative way that made it pretty clear what was going on. And they used Chainflip, Thorchain, Maya. They did get some help from SwapKit itself, but which is kind of an SDK that helps make things a bit easier. But they did make this kind of Rango style hopping algorithm that's pretty cool, and I just liked everything about the look and feel and what they're how they're showing stuff, and just the fact that it's pretty clear about how it's aggregated between all protocols. I found very interesting. Yeah, what do you think, Sean?
I think that's pretty much it. It's a working product. The technology is really cool, and they're really smart with how they, figure out their routing, which is really, really cool to see. I think that's a big aspect. That's like nice to see. You can clearly see that there's been a lot of time and effort and creativity, and even some of the stuff you might not see, like the routing. So yeah, I really hope this, they continue to build this out, because this has really great potential.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, we as protocols try to provide max flexibility for as many use cases as we can, but that inherently makes it complicated. And I think that's where the user interface is most at value, because you can not use an interface. You can. I'm not sure many people know this, but you can just directly send a transaction to Chainflip, and it will service it, and none the wiser. But the reason that UIs are so interesting is they abstract away a lot and kind of make easy what you want to do. And there's so many design options, like on Maya, you're talking about streaming swap. Like, are you looking to make it as short as possible or as price effective as possible? But the UIs will make a choice for you or the user and package it in such a way that just makes sense and gets the job done for what the user wants to achieve. So anyway, I do hope these guys keep going, and congratulations if you're listening. You did a great job. There's obviously still a lot, and if you don't know Rango, I'd take a look at what Rango is doing. I see a lot of similarities between your project and theirs, and if you want to know what you can have as a roadmap moving forward, that's definitely who you want to compare yourself with. But they, for instance, they have a lot of aggregation and routes between many different dexes, but they haven't focused on these Chainflip, Thorchain, Thorchain Maya triangle. So you can do something like Rango is doing, but focus more on this aggregation of cross-chain for a good result, I think, something that the market isn't yet paying attention to.
Very nice. 100% agree with you on that. You, Will?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with what you guys said. We need more interfaces that abstract the UX or the difficult UX for some people away and just make it simple and intuitive. Also, I love that they use Pepe. That got my vote alone. I wasn't judged, but that I liked. Just while you guys were talking, the video was up, so for those listening, you can see the live demo. I took the volume off, of course, but if you want to watch the whole thing, it's 12 minutes, so a bit long for this live stream. Yeah, you can go check it out on the website. I think we posted a few links in as well. But yeah, if you want to see how it works, you can go check it out.
Yeah, and a little tip for the creator as well. Another improvement point is just using streaming swaps when you're using Thorchain and Maya. I think it looks like the single swap is being used. So that's a great improvement for settlement right there. And then something that I found very interesting that another UI did called Mocha, that they're actually integrating Chainflip now, is that when there's more than one route shown, although it looks useful to show the number of tokens you get on the output, users think more in relative terms. So what they do is show just the winner that gets the most output, and then the routes on top to choose from just say how much more in percentage it is, not the numbers. For example, if I see the 99,000, 98,000, and 40,000, the mind thinks faster and it's happier thinking in percentage terms. Like, okay, you lose 1% this one and 40% on that one, and you instantly get it, and you instantly say, okay, no, I want this route. So it's kind of a little UX improvement you can make as well.
I like that.
Like that. No, absolutely.
Pretty smart. On to the next one. We got the Thorchain CF Maya aggregator. This one's an interesting one, and I think David, you had some comments on. You chatted with some of the.
The entry was made by one of the co-founders of Babylon, which is an integrator of Chainflip, and they wanted to have more ways of. They wanted to use the cross-chain messaging functionality of Chainflip to offer more swapping than the coins that Chainflip currently offers. So they have added Uniswap, SushiSwap, Odos, Maya, Torchain, and there was one more, all on contract basis, so that people can go and come from all the assets available on those platforms, and then Chainflip is just one chain in the chain, one link in the chain of swaps. And the nice thing about it is contracts are open source, so every integrator can use them as well. Let's say that my Discord bot, if Swappy wants to tomorrow offer Bitcoin to some long-tailed asset on Ethereum, it could use these contracts to offer that second jump after the Chainflip swap. So I think it's really good infrastructure entry that will help a lot in the future to expand all the offering that Chainflip has.
Yeah.
What I really like about it is so I've spoken with Maya quite a bit with Gmail about like how do we get people to integrate us and get like our backends used in different interfaces, and Odos has been one that has picked up a bunch of steam on EVM lately, and been thinking about like for them it's probably a bit too complicated to integrate Chainflip or Maya or Chain. Like it's just not really their unique focus. So these sort of middle solutions that integrate some like either big dexes or aggregators and more niche cross-chain aggregators specifically for people like us, where it's like not EVM cross-chain, but Bitcoin or Avalanche or IEC or things like that. I'm pretty interested in that and hope that there's more solutions being built like that. If they actually go the distance and become a project that other sort of larger aggregators want to integrate, then I mean, yeah, they'll be competing with SwapKit, but they can also be complementary in many cases because we know that integrating new chains is new DEX is tough and there's a lot of things moving parts. So I think focusing on a niche part is actually also pretty useful.
Like that.
So I'm pretty excited. And also about Odos since
Yeah.
it's one that we love to be connected in at one point.
Yeah, I like that too. They also touched on some pretty like specific, like on the Chainflip side. That's I guess what I can talk a little bit about from what I thought. They've touched on a lot of really like pain points that some people have felt at Chainflip. Like one of them being like for liquidity providers, there's that some friction in order to onboard as a liquidity provider. And one of the frictions is creating an LP account and having to deposit flip to create this account. They've done something where they've looked at ways in order to, instead of funding your LP account with just flip, you can use any asset and then it will swap it into flip and then use that to open up an LP account, which is a really interesting and cool way to take away the friction that we have on that side. And they touched on split swaps too for Chainflip. They really try to look at it how they can implement it. And again, it's just one of those things where they've looked at our roadmap and they've looked at what we're developing and really tried to find try and help us find a solution to one of the biggest things that we're looking at, which is really cool to see. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know we're running low on time, so I'll quickly go to the last one, which was quite a unique entry because it was basically they mixed cross-chain with social ID. And I think this one got the prize just because it was different from everything else. So it was super cool to see that not everything was just very uniquely focused on solving either the cross-chain aggregation issue or sort of Chainflip's liquidity issue. There were different solutions out there. So I think that was probably my favorite thing about last century. And yeah, overall we had I think 6 great entries. We're pretty happy with some of the unique ideas that were submitted.
Yeah. I think that's it. I'm happy. I really hope, like we've said, I really hope a lot of these people actually go out, continue building, and contact us and any of the teams if you are interested in building, and we can always point in the right direction. We know, as Alex said, dev community is strong. We must keep that going.
I do have a question though. Since we're here in live, I wanted to ask Alex about Radix and what's going on there.
Yeah.
So you guys tweeted about it, so I figure it's okay that I ask on live stream.
Radix is a very different chain than most others in many respects, and we like to venture every once in a while to something that's entirely different. At the end of the day, where I think we add most value as cross-chain protocols is connecting wildly different chains, because there's a lot of infrastructure for EVM to EVM. There are many common wallets for all UTXOs. The Cosmos verse, of course, it's all really bound and glued together. And so will be the case between like-for-like chains. And where I think we come in is how do we get these things connected with each other and these other outliers as well with the broader ecosystem. So yeah, I like Radix. They have been trying to solve many problems back from the drawing board from scratch, which I always appreciate. It's easy to kind of judge a chain when you compare to others that just kind of took something that was working and re-released it. That's a bit easier than kind of trying to have a new creative take on the same problems. So I think there's a lot of that in Radix, and they've been great to work with. A very highly technical and sophisticated team that did pretty much probably 80% of the integration themselves. And we launched version 111 of Maya over the weekend. It was adopted by nodes on Sunday. By Monday morning, we had churned. I had the Asgard vaults ready. And right now we are just waiting for the liquidity to be seeded and the ball to start rolling. But we've already had a few very small transactions happen successfully. So happy with that. Version 112 will be more about little adjustments for streaming swaps. Right now we wait a lot on inbound confirmations. Streaming swaps is great. I'm sure you guys will have a lot of success with DCA. It's really something. And then version 113, it's Zcash, which I'm
Oh, no way.
I'm like a little kid giggling at having Zcash.
I like that one.
Yeah, the draft is in. We are now in the review process. So that will be pretty great as well. We'll keep working on adding different chains, wildly different chains, and focusing on just taking cross-chain technology as broad and as far as we can. So good stuff.
I love it. I guess to wrap up from our side, it's been a busy day, week. We are launching 1.5 today. We're going to be switching on the front end. Probably after this call, I'm going to check in with the devs to see how that's going. But Boost will be live. We'll be pushing that out, and you'll be able to have boosted swaps. We're really interested in boosted Bitcoin swaps. We're quite interested to see how that's going to go in the market. Let's see if people want to get faster Bitcoin swaps through the door at a small fee. Really excited to see how that goes.
You can't miss a week in cross-chain. We're all so fast. I did see in the morning about 1.5. I was like, what other ecosystem do you see? Like, we had an update over the weekend. You guys today, Thorchain is likely upgrading something either this week or the next. Blockchain is fast, and cross-chain within that is just so much faster because we're like juggling so many different chains and kind of having to be high speed all the time.
Yeah. People don't realize the release cadence. It's like it's really fast. It's really fast. The new chain is not just a small lift.
It's also quite a lift. People realize the amount of man hours that go into every update, I think.
Yeah.
And the great thing is that we're going faster. I'm still frustrated that we are going slow, and people
Yeah.
just tell me, "Oh, guys, you've done so much," and I'm like, "No, we can do more." And as well, every update we get a bit better, a bit faster at reviewing, a bit faster at coding away, a bit better at launching stuff, the nodes, and the network gets also more professional. So it'll just keep accelerating, which is pretty cool.
Exactly. Anyway, but yeah, that is time. We already are 15 minutes over, you know. But thank you to all the people that participated. Thank you to the three of you for coming up and talking about your products. And of course, we'll be in touch and have a lovely. Yeah.
Sorry, I was just going to say, on the prizes,
Yes.
anyone that's waiting for that, I'm sure, well, some people here in the room even now, Dora Hacks will be in charge of distributing some of the prizes. We're also collecting, that's for EVM chains, as in Flip token and the Thor token. For Maya and Thor chain rewards, we're collecting addresses and we're going to pass it to them. So hold with us. There's just some internal stuff between Dora and Chainflip that we need to figure out because, well, we're registered companies and sending money around needs invoices.
Yeah.
Boring stuff.
All the boring stuff.
Since it's our first hackathon, we hadn't really thought about doing it ahead of the time. So bear with us, it's coming. But yeah, it'll be coming the next couple of days. Yeah.
And one last thanks, because of course, thanks to participants and all the interest in the community, but thanks to you guys for coordinating everything. I know it wasn't trivial. It must have taken a lot of time and effort. So thank you for doing this for the cross-chain ecosystem and for inviting us and ThorChain in. It was a pleasure, and let's keep it up. Looking forward to season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Thanks, folks. Have a lovely Sunday.
See you guys.
Ciao.
Bye. See ya.